Hey everyone, I'm Sam, one of the food editors here at Good Food. Today I'm excited to share some sweet treats you can make in your air fryer. We've got apple crumble, pavlova and brownies. This is Air Fryer 101. Let's get started. Our first recipe is a classic comfort pudding, apple crumble. It's sweet, it's warming, and it's got that beautiful crumble topping. First up for the apple filling. Pop your apples into the bowl, along with some cinnamon and a pinch of salt. You could also use ginger if you want to. Also some sugar, that just helps to take away the tartness of the apples. I'm also going to add some dried fruit. These are some dried berries and that's just going to add another level of flavour. And then simply mix it all together. Before I put the crumble into the dish, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of water. That's just to help steam the apples so they soften a little bit. Let's get it into the crumble dish. There we go. You need to use a dish that you can fit into your air fryer and also that's deep enough for the filling and then just a little space for the crumble on top. So the filling's going to cook for about 10 to 12 minutes and whilst that's happening, I'm going to make the crumble topping. To make the crumble topping, I'm going to put the flour into your bowl and then add the butter and then we're going to rub that in. You could also do it in a food processor, but sometimes it's nice to get your hands dirty. To rub in, you're just literally rubbing the butter and the flour together using your fingertips, trying not to get any flour onto your palms. It's also really important that your butter's cold because that will make it a lot easier to rub in. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I've got a nice coarse breadcrumb-like texture. I'm going to stir in the sugar and also I'm going to stir in the oats, along with a pinch of salt. Just want to combine that nicely, but don't mix it vigorously, just kind of fold it in. We've given the filling a head start, now it's time to get the crumble topping on. Just going to try and get it on nice and evenly, so I'm gently scraping it from the bowl into the dish. With the spoon, I'm just going to gently ease that in around the edges. I'm not going to push down because I want it to remain nice and crumbly. There we have it. I'm going to get that back into the air fryer for about 10 to 15 minutes until the crumble topping is cooked and the filling is also nice and soft. Crumble's done, so we're going to get it plated up. Just going to take a spoonful, get it onto our bowl. Lovely. You can see that apple stewed nicely and the crumble is lovely and crunchy. And crumble would not be crumble without some custard. Time to try a spoonful. It's so good. This is the perfect warming pudding. The apples are tender and the crumble is just right. Next up, we have a beautiful and elegant dessert, the pavlova. It's light, it's airy, and we're going to top this one with fresh fruit. Firstly, we're going to whisk the egg whites. So get those into your bowl, and then with your electric whisk, you can do it by hand, but this is much quicker. I'm going to whisk these up. Once the eggs have formed stiff peaks, you can stop. I'm going to whisk this sugar in a spoonful at a time. So you're going to start your mixer and then just spoon in the sugar whilst whisking. You can see it resembles soft serve ice cream and also looks a little bit like shaving foam. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of white wine vinegar and some vanilla and also a tiny bit of corn flour. That just helps to stabilise the mixture. Right, now the meringue mix is ready and I've lined the base of my air fryer basket with baking parchment. I'm just going to spoon that in a nice circular shape. So you can see I've spooned a nice circular shape there. You could pipe it if you find that easier, and also depending on the shape and size of your air fryer basket, the pavlova might be a different shape, but that's totally fine. I've preheated my air fryer to 120 degrees. I'm now going to turn it down to 100 degrees and bake this for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. If your air fryer doesn't go as low as 100, that's fine. Just keep it slightly hotter and bake it for less time. Okay, the meringue's cooked and I've left it to cool in the air fryer basket and then carefully lifted it out. So now I'm going to spoon on some cream and then cover it in some lovely seasonal fresh fruit. I'm going to use blueberries, raspberries and cherries because they're in season at the moment. You could also use other fruits like peaches or nectarines, Mango's great. I'm gonna top this with some fresh cherries. I've left the stem on just because I think it looks a little bit prettier. And to finish, I'm gonna tuck some sprigs of mint in. And there you have it, a fantastic air fryer pavlova. The meringue is crisp on the outside and soft on the inside, and the fruits add the perfect touch. For our final recipes, we've got rich and fudgy brownies. They're easy, quick, and an indulgent treat. And who doesn't love brownies? Firstly, I'm going to melt the chocolate and butter. I'm going to do that in a heat-proof bowl over a pan of just simmering water. The next step is to whisk together the sugar in the eggs. So I'm going to pop the sugar into a bowl, and then I'm going to crack the eggs in. So just tap on the side of your bowl and in. I'm now going to whisk these together until they're light, fluffy, and doubled in volume. Once your eggs and sugar are light and fluffy, you're going to sift in your flour and your cocoa powder. Now it's important to sift these in so you don't get any lumps. And then pop your cocoa powder in, give it a good vigorous shake. Follow that with your melted chocolate mix, and then we're going to fold that all together with a spatula. You want to be quite gentle because you've spent all that time whisking in that air into the eggs and sugar. You can see that's lovely and thick now and everything's combined, so I'm just going to fold in these white chocolate chips. I'm just going to fold those until they've just been mixed through, because I'm still trying to be careful not to beat out any air. Now my batter's ready, I'm going to get that into my prepared tin. I've oiled and lined my tin. I've left a little bit of a flap just so I can lift it out later. And also, really importantly, you need to make sure the tin actually fits in your air fryer. Okay, I'm going to get that batter in there now. Go. And try and get as much as you can in there, whilst also leaving yourself a little bit for later. I'm going to get that into my air fryer, which has been preheated to 160 degrees for about 25 to 35 minutes until it's cooked but still a little bit gooey in the middle. The brownies are ready and they look amazing. Let's cut into them and see how they turned out. So I'm going to cut these into 9, 3 strips one way, and then 3 strips the other. Lovely and gooey and fudgy, which is exactly what I wanted. It's got a lovely crispy crust and the centre is cooked to perfection. The air fryer is a great way to cook your brownies. Making desserts like these at home isn't just satisfying, it's a lot of fun. If you enjoyed these recipes, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon for more episodes. And for more recipes and inspiration, visit goodfood.com or download our app.